I like to say that a man is the closest thing to God. No matter what's going on, we have to rise consistently every day, and we have to provide consistently every day. We have to serve consistently every day.
He has to have a code. He has to have certain things he's going to say and do, and he means it. You know, when I was coming up, if a man said something, that was his word was bond.
For some guys, they're invisible to women. In order for them to stop complaining, they just really have to step up their game, meaning they have to step up their strategy. They have to become a more attractive guy. So the reason why so many guys are sexless is because they don't have any game.
Weak men need to be purged. And what I mean by that is that there was a time where only the strongest men had valuable things.
Anybody that's been out here in the last 10 years, it's easier to get sex than it is to make $100. Basically put yourself in a position and they throwing it to you. So I think, again, weak men have risen up and they have a voice and they spew their shit onto other weak men and they fall for it. And it's this whole victimhood thing.
I say, okay, put your arm out. They put their arm out. I say, grab your arm. You can grab your arm.
When I think of a man in my head, he takes responsibility with a purpose. And this responsibility gives him struggle, and through that struggle, he gets strength, and through that strength, he creates structure.
Smack your arm. You can smack your arm. Pinch your arm. Okay, you're real. Go fucking knock on Fear's door and grab his arm.
Whatever he wants out of life, whatever he desires out of life, whatever steps he wants to take to secure what he requires, I think he should be true to that first and foremost.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
See, the emotional male will always use emotions to make excuses for the fact he ain't shit.
You gotta be ready to go the distance behind what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to die about some shit.
Still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the woman you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I want to tell you about my documentary, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, starring myself, the Boss Mac Topsoil, Rosebud, Ron Wills, Miles Cunningham, and much more. In this documentary, you're going to learn about confidence, manhood, attracting women, and the definition of the game. To get this documentary, go to MrLocario.com.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Masculine Identity Soap. This luxurious, quality, high lather, high moisturizing, all natural bar soap has been handcrafted with care and consistency to provide a quality cleansing experience for self-care, focus, and productivity, specially formulated for cold showers. Stay clean, gentlemen. Masculine Identity Soap.
Click the link below and get your tickets to the Game Kings 2, The Definition of a Man documentary screening that's going to be held in Miami on October 26th, 2024. You'll be the first to watch the documentary, and then after the documentary, you'll be able to participate in a question and answer session with the Game Kings live. Space is limited, so click the link below and get your tickets now. Yo, we here. What's up? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. What's good? Shout outs to my lady April MC in the building. What's going on? Who else we got up in here? DK, what's going on? What's popping with your man? First Down, Soulmonger, No Data, Zati was good. Phoenix Smile, Steve O Baby was popping. Danny P is in the building. AT is in the building. It's over 9K. Duke Alex, Frankie Shy, Renee P is in the motherfucking building. B Daddy is in the building. Steve O Baby, Zati. Who else got him here? Olafemi, what's going on? Shout out to Corey in the building. Duke Alex out of the mud is in the motherfucking building. Dan Frank is in the motherfucking building, man. Shout out to everybody. Monogamous Player, Studio Horror Music. Who else we got up in here? Joe Blast in the motherfucking building. Joe Blast. Shout out to Joe Blast in the building. Who else we got up in here? Unchained. A-Cam was popping with you. King Biso was good, man. Was popping with everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building. So today's topic, man. Oh, this is a good one. Why being afraid to lose your woman will make you lose your woman. You understand what I'm saying? We got to go through this. We have to go through this. And guys, if you want to call in, the call-in number is 646-481-3901. 646-481-3901. If you have a question, put a Q in the chat. Make sure you donate to call up. And also remember, guys, make sure that you guys go to these websites right here, badboymembership.com.
Do it!
Make sure you do that.
Just do it!
And masculineidentitymembership.com.
Do it! Just do it!
So that you can step up your motherfucking game. Make sure you guys join the memberships. You feel what I'm saying? So we're talking about why being afraid to lose your woman will make you lose your woman. Now, what gave me this idea was the show we did the other day where we was talking about, Chris Brown, and he was, taking pictures with the ladies, and they was, spending $1,000 to take the pictures and shit. And so, there were some women who their boyfriends or whoever was, basically was like, I'm leaving them, I'm dumping them, and all this other crazy shit, right? And, there's a lot of guys that are in their feelings when it comes to situations like this, right? And so what happens is that when guys are in relationships with women, they try really hard to create these sort of rules, right? They'll call them boundaries, but it's really things set up because they're scared to lose their woman. So they create rules and guidelines and all these things rooted in fear, and they fear that the woman's going to leave them. So they say, if you don't do this or you don't do that, then I'm going to go, or I'm going to threaten to leave, or you better do these things. Or they're trying to keep the woman away from doing certain things because they're scared that if a woman does this or that, they're going to lose the chick, right? And sometimes the guy will walk away from the situation, right? Or drop the situation entirely because he feels as if, right, she's going to do something that's going to sort of be detrimental to him in the long run, right? But a lot of it is really all rooted in fear, right? So you have a lot of guys out here, what they do is that they're taking certain actions to try to keep the woman. And what happens is that by taking those actions, they end up losing the woman because they're acting insecure. They're being needy and clingy because they want so bad to not lose the chick. But then as a result, they end up losing the woman, right? So for example, you have guys out there that'll say, you know, oh, I don't want my girl to be on social media, right? Now, the reason why they don't want the girl to be on social media is because they're scared that guys are going to DM the girl. They don't want guys to DM the girl because they think that if the guys DM the girl is going to go and fuck with that guy. So what the guy says is he says, I don't want you to be on social media. So now he's acting scared and being a coward. And because he's acting scared, what's going to happen is that his woman is going to see him as weak. You understand? So now that she sees him as weak, she's not going to want to really fuck with him like that. So sooner than later, she's going to bounce because she's like, this motherfucker's weak. You understand? So she's like, why would I stay with this guy who's showing me that he's weak? I am not attracted to this. So therefore, I'm going to go. So what happened is by him trying not to lose his woman, he ends up losing his woman because he's acting weak, trying to not lose her. Right? And so him acting weak makes him unattractive, which makes him lose the chick. Right? So you might have guys that'll say, well, I don't want my girl going on girls trips because I'm scared that, you know, she's going to basically fuck some other guy. That's basically what they're saying. They're not going to say that part out loud, but that's the reason why they don't want the girls to go on the girls trips, because they're like, well, she's going to go fuck another guy and I don't want that to happen. So now, because he's afraid to lose the woman to another guy, he acts needy and clingy and tells her, I don't want you going nowhere. You got to stay here. And then he ends up losing her because he's being weak. That's unattractive. So eventually she's going to go. You understand what I'm saying? So now what happens is this, is that a lot of guys don't realize that the reason why they're going to lose their chick is because they're trying to hold on to their chick. And see, what dudes don't understand when it comes to the game, it's not about keeping the woman. Right? See, guys who make the game about women are concerned about keeping the woman. See, when you have rules and guidelines and boundaries in your relationship, right? It's about keeping the structure of the relationship working. I'm gonna follow what I'm about to say, because this is the distinction that guys don't understand. When you have rules, guidelines, boundaries, and stuff like that, it's about keeping the structure of the relationship working. It's not about keeping the woman. I'm saying it again. When you have rules, boundaries, guidelines, and stuff like that, it's about keeping the structure of the relationship going, and it's not about keeping the woman. So what does that mean? That means that when you're dealing with a chick and the chick is there in the situation with you, right? So she's entering your situation, your program, or whatever it is like that. You have certain rules and you have certain things that happen that's supposed to happen in order to keep things going, in order to keep the relationship going, right? Now, any of those rules, guidelines, and boundaries cannot be clouded in fear of losing her. You understand? So for example, if you are, you have this relationship with this chick, right? And you basically say, hey, listen, our days that we're going to see each other are Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So those are the days we're going to hang out and do what we got to do, right? And when we do what we got to do, right, we're going to do these particular things on these days, right? And when we do those things on these days, we're going to have a schedule of the things that we're doing on those days, right? So you're creating a structure for the entire experience when you and her are together. Right now, what the fuck does her being on social media have to do with any of that? You understand what I'm saying? Now, it could be a thing where you say, listen, let's not be on social media while we're together and having us time because we're focusing on us and doing these things. But what I'm saying is, what does her being on social media have to do with the actual structure of the relationship? Nothing. But see, you don't want her on social media because you're scared that another nigga's gonna holler and take her away from you. You understand? You said there's a busy tone on a call-in line? Hold on, let me see. That's weird. Let me try to redo the Skype then. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. Let me try to redo the Skype. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that shit. I'm gonna reopen the Skype, see if we can make that happen. All right. All right, I'm reopening the Skype and seeing what's popping with this situation. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this shit. All right, I'm trying to reopen the Skype now. So let me see if the Skype is working. Let me see. So you guys can try to call in. Let me see if I can hear the fucking. Okay, the Skype's working now, so you guys can call in. So yeah, it was probably something crazy going on with it earlier. Yo, it's so crazy. It's hot as fuck in here, and I got the fan and the air conditioner on. This is crazy. This is crazy. But anyway, okay, let me get this number. Oh shit, hold on. We got K Zagging coming through. What's going on, fam? What's popping with you, man?
Chilling. Oh, and I sent the joint to the iTax Media PayPal.
That's what's up. Appreciate it. So what's going on?
You already know, like I know, you're gonna get pushback, right? Mm-hmm. And they're gonna be like, but it's about respect.
Right.
And this is what, because you said something earlier about the actual the structure of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is this: if guys really had standards and boundaries like that, why would you get into a relationship at all?
Right.
With a woman who's doing things that are not in alignment of what you want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of these guys do is they'll see that a woman dresses a certain way, get into a relationship anyway.
Right.
They'll see that she does girls' night out, she's a party chick, she goes on trips. They'll get into a relationship anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And because they have no influence and they have weak leadership,
right,
they believe if she cares about me and if she's my girlfriend, I'll have the appropriate leverage at that point to influence her decision making.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it don't work that way. Because the thing is, if that woman was really adhering to your standards, she would make changes to her behavior prior to getting into the relationship with you because she wants it that bad.
Right, because she wants to be with you. Exactly.
So, as I always say, most of guys' insecurities revolve around sex, directly or indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
What you were saying about guys, oh, I don't want my chick to be on social media. Oh, I don't want my chick taking girl trips. Oh, I don't want my chick doing girls' night out. Oh, I don't want my chick dressed a certain way. All of that is mate guarding tactics.
Right.
Let me keep men away from my woman.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And they don't look at it like that, but it's really insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the funny thing. I want guys to understand, because anytime we say insecurity, they're like, oh, no, it ain't that. No, being insecure means to worry.
Right.
That's what it means.
Exactly.
You're worried about something. So if you don't want your woman to be on social media, what are you worried about? You're worried about her coming into contact with men that she might want to fuck.
Exactly.
So I just want to point that out because I already saw one comment in the chat where a guy was trying to refute what you were saying. And I'm like, bruh, if the woman is doing things that's not on par with your standards, never date her seriously. It's that simple.
Right, exactly. That's a fact. That's real shit, man. That's real shit.
All right, bro.
Yes,
I'm going to get back to the show.
I'll holler, man. Appreciate it. Shout out to K Zagging in the building. But yeah, that's the thing. And see, the problem is, see, a lot of you guys out there, unfortunately, right? What y'all don't understand is, and I'm gonna get a little bit deeper. This is the part that y'all not even really at this level yet, but I'm gonna get deeper, right? See, the reason why a lot of guys have issues when it comes to this, right, is because they actually are extremely concerned with keeping the woman, right? And like I said, being concerned with keeping her makes you act needy and clingy, which makes you less attractive, which eventually will make her leave, right? So now what most guys will try to do is, or they'll be thinking, oh, well, if that's the case, what can I do to keep her, Mr. Locario? But see, if you're asking that question, right, that means that you're still afraid to lose her. Do you see what I'm saying? So the key is this, right? Is that you have to be the type of motherfucker who understands that the game isn't about women, so that you're not doing behaviors that lend itself to you trying to keep her. Do you understand what I'm saying? So meaning you want the woman to choose based on just her free will to be there, right? And she's also free to leave whenever the fuck she wants to leave. But you guys want to keep her so bad because there's something within you that feels you need her, which is why you're trying to keep her. But let's go to another call. We got 757. 757, what's popping? Who this?
What's going on, Lucario? This is Ari, 27, Virginia.
All right, what's popping? Appreciate the donation, fam. What's going on?
Yeah, so I just got a question. So how do you determine whether or not a person is dateable versus someone you just stay as a fuck buddy?
You said, how do you determine if someone's dateable versus if they're just a fuck buddy?
Yeah.
So basically, okay. So a woman is dateable if she's basically adhering to your program and adhering to the vetting. Do you see what I'm saying? So if she's not doing that, right, then that's the type of chick. First of all, if you're in a situation where a woman is not adhering to your program, period, you shouldn't be fucking with her, period, even if it's a fuck buddy, right? But a lot of times it differentiates the fuck buddy from a chick who you would see as a chick you would date and probably long term, or even, make her your girlfriend or whatever is like that, is the fuck buddy. In a lot of cases, you already know there are characteristics about her that you wouldn't want in a girlfriend. Do you see what I'm saying? So for example, like it may just be even the way she looks. You're like, yeah, she's all right. She cute, but I'm not that attracted to her, but she got a fat ass and the sex is good. So she's going to be the fuck buddy. Do you see what I'm saying? Or let's say, you're like, yeah, she cute, but she be kind of like, inconsistent. So I wouldn't want a woman that inconsistent to be my girl, but every now and then if I'm bored and I hit her up, she could come through and get this dick. You feel what I'm saying? So it's really just understanding that you have a certain way of doing things, a certain standard, and the woman has to adhere to that. And if she doesn't adhere to that, then she definitely can't be someone you're dating and moving in that direction with. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So like for like your general like vetting process, you basically have like all women start off as fuck buddies,
right?
But from like the first like meetup, because especially like when you fuck buddies, you're just not interacting with them just sexually. So it's like, when exactly do you determine whether or not like they'll have actually like non-sexual characteristics that like you can then determine it's like, okay, boom, this woman has potential to be like vetted for like a relationship.
Right. Right. But that's why you started out as fuck buddy, because what you want is you want to see a woman be consistent with you giving her the least. Do you see what I'm saying? So for example, it's not to say that like, because usually like, let's say you meet a girl on a dating app, right? You might go out and get coffee with her or get a drink the first time y'all meet, because it's the first meeting, y'all seen each other in person. Let's feel this out a little. So you go get coffee and shit. Next thing you know, let's say you take her back to your crib that day, or maybe the next time you see her. So now y'all hook up, and then you see her again, y'all hook up, you see her again, you hook up. Now, the fact that she's being extremely cooperative with that, the fact that she's not actually coming with attitude like, yo, how come we just fucking and blah, blah, blah. The fact that she's being extremely cooperative throughout the entire time y'all are just fucking, right? That shows you that she has high interest in you, because she is grateful for whatever she's getting from you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Which means she's highly interested in you. Do you see what I'm saying? Just like, for example, those girls that take the pictures with Chris Brown, they only get to meet him for like a few minutes, and they're paying him for a picture with him, right? So they're grateful for any type of time they're getting. You see what I'm saying? So this is why you only have sex with them and hook up with them, because they're showing consistency through you giving them the least. So now once they've been showing that, then they deserve more. So that's when you start taking them out and doing all this other extra non-sexual stuff while you're still having sex with them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I remember in one past like live, you just said that like for your fuck buddies, that you should be like infrequent with like how you see them. And like when the person that you're trying to see for your dating, that's when you start seeing like every like week up until like that 3-month period at least has ended. And so I'm just seeing like, how do you like make that differentiation early on?
Right. That's why you need to understand yourself, because see, this is the thing. Most guys don't understand who they are and what they want. So they're confused even at the beginning. Like if I meet a girl right now, right, I can tell within the first conversation or interaction with her, right, and sometimes even before I speak to her, whether or not I would take her seriously as someone I'm going to vet long-term or just someone I'm going to have as a fuck buddy. So let's say I meet girl A and within the first, conversation, I'm like, yeah, she's just going to be a fuck buddy. So what that's going to mean is I may hook up with her that night, and then I might not call her or text her again maybe for 2 weeks. You understand what I'm saying? And then I smash, and then I'm not going to text her again for another month. Now, the other girl, though, who I first meet, girl B, right? I'm like, oh, she got some potential. So I'm going to smash, and then I'm going to hit her up the next week. We're going to smash. Then I'm going to hit her up the next week. You're going to smash. So I make the determination from the beginning. That's why you need to know yourself and know exactly what you want so that you can make that determination from the beginning. See, a lot of times what happens for most average dudes is they'll be with a chick and then they don't know where the fuck they're going or what they're doing. They have no plan. And so they end up with a chick who they thought was going to be a fuck buddy. And now all of a sudden, oh my God, I really like her. She just grew on me and I'm, in love and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's that type of shit. So it's best to know from the jump. So this is why I tell guys, go out there, talk to 25 women a day, go out on dates, interact with chicks. Because the more you do that, the more you understand yourself and what you like and don't like, so that you can be able to differentiate between the women that you actually want to fuck with longer term versus the chicks who are just probably going to just be fuck buddies. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. And so would you say it's a good idea if I guess I have like these like types of conversations, just like see like what type of woman she is like during like the first meetup?
Wait, say that again?
I said, do you think it would be a good idea that I have like these types of conversations, like just to have like an idea of like who?
What types of conversations you talking about?
Just like the non-sexual ones, just for like the just to see like she has like that foundation that I'm looking for in order to see like whether or not like she's the type of woman who like I'll probably like has I can see potential within her.
So you're saying that you're trying to have a conversation. You're saying so having conversations to see if what type of woman she is. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, what I mean is that like, okay. So let's just say that like you want a woman to cook who's like very good at cooking. So obviously when you approach a woman, especially if you approach her randomly on the street, you're not going to know that information like up front. But once you then like set up that meetup, you guys meet up, that's like something that's like important to you. So you definitely know that like if she can't cook, but she's still like, sexually attractive and like you guys vibe on that level, we'll still be fuck buddies. But if you're able to find out, like, hey, she got like some cooking skills, they'll be like, okay, cool. This is the type of woman who I'll potentially vet.
So wait, so let me ask you a question. How do you know she's good at cooking?
I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just going by like what information that like she gives me.
Right. So what I'm saying is, her giving you, let's say you talking to her, she says, "Oh, I'm a great cook." Do you still know she knows how to cook?
No.
Right. So that doesn't even matter. See. The thing is this, right? If you want a girl who knows how to cook, right, that's fine. But you need to get to the part where that will present itself at the time it needs to present itself. See, a lot of times you guys see, this is the issue. A lot of you guys, y'all want girlfriends and relationships so bad, which is very feminine, by the way. But y'all want relationships so bad that y'all are trying to figure out, if a chick is girlfriend material now, and then you think you're going to treat her a certain way because you think she's girlfriend material now. Like what I was saying earlier is you can see the difference in potential, but the girl still has to go through the process. So what I'm saying is, so let's say, for example, you've been seeing a chick for, let's say, 7 or 8 months, right? Around the 7th or 8th month, that's the time where she could probably cook for you. And then that's the time where you'll see if she can cook. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if you realize, oh, this bitch can't cook for shit, then that might take her out the runnings to be your girl. Do you see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that you see the things that you need to find out will reveal itself through time to let you know if she's qualified to be the girl. So you have to go through the process regardless. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's not this thing where, we can just have a conversation and she tells me she's a good cook. So now I think she is, most likely wifey material. That's not how it works.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't try and imply all that. But okay, so basically, girls who you basically see probably like that first initial interaction or just how you perceive her, will determine like whether or not it's like, okay, this woman is like all I want to do is just like have her as a fuck buddy, but the other woman is like, all right, we could like potentially see what happens, and then like if she doesn't just go through based off her actions, then like
but it also, that's just the surface part of it. Also, it depends on what you want though. So what I'm saying is what do you want in a situation where you're dealing with a woman who's going to be wifey? And so what happens is that based on that, that's what you're going to be vetting her for. So there's going to be certain things from the beginning where you say, okay, well, let's just use a simple example. You say, I like the way this woman looks. She has the look of who I would consider a chick that I would want to, be in a relationship with long term. She already has the look. Right now, what are the other non-physical, non-sexual things that need to occur? So let's say, you got A, B, and C that needs to occur. So what happens is that to figure out what A, B, and C is going to take time. So that means that you're going to basically be putting her through the ringer through some time to see if she can do A, B, and C. Now, once you see that she does A, B, and C, which is you vetting her for that year, then you say, okay, she's passed all the tests. She's done all the things. Okay, now I will give her the position of girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? But what happened is that from the jump, there was something about her that gave you the idea that she has potential to be that. You see what I'm saying? But again, it still depends on, you and what you want. So for example, if I say to myself, let's say I say, you know what? Like I like a chick who is on time for shit, right? Yeah. And let's say this is the first time I'm meeting a girl and she's like 15 minutes late. You feel what I'm saying? So I might say, you know what? Because she's late, that already disqualifies her as fucking you understand what I'm saying? Girlfriend material, just on that shit. And not only was she late, throughout our conversation, she tells me she's usually late for shit. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'll smash, but I'm not necessarily, looking at you as long-term situation. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. And that's just a simple example. You see what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Now I get it now.
Right.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call, man. All right. So guys, call in number 646-481-3901, 646-481-3901 is the number. And if you have a question, put a Q in the chat and we'll get to your question. But yeah, what I wanted to say too is that this, guys, is this. You got to understand, right? You worrying about losing the woman, right, is the issue. You have to get out of the mindset of worrying about losing the chick. Once you get out that mindset, then you're good, because if you lose her, you're not going to give a shit. And if you don't give a shit, then you're not going to act like a motherfucker scared to lose her, which means you're going to remain that attractive guy and most likely she'll stay. But remember, it don't matter if she stays because you don't give a shit that she leaves. That's the paradox of it. But let's go to 502. 502, what's popping with you?
What's going on, Lucario? It's Phoenix. You know,
Phoenix, appreciate the donation. So what's going on?
Now, man, I just wanted some like kind of clarity on this whole women going on girls trips thing. Because honestly, I had never given it any thought really into the kind of the whole YouTube thing, and it kind of came this thing back and forth. But even some of you all will be like, all right, cool, you know, let her go on a girls trip. But then some will be like, yeah, she go on a girls trip though. She go to Vegas though. Just go ahead and be done with her. So what is it? I mean, are women really going on the girls trip smashing like that? I know we ain't going in worried about losing her or not, but I know we ain't going to keep her from going on the girls trip. But let's just say she going to Vegas. Is that something that you just like, all right, that's like a chargeable offense? Like, let her go, but it's a chargeable offense. Or should you just not even be like, it is what it is, because maybe people are making it bigger than what it actually is?
Well, this is the thing. See, the problem is, again, guys think success in a relationship is keeping the woman or being with her long term. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what happens is that they're trying their best to not get the relationship in a situation where it has to end or she leaves him or so forth and so on. So yeah, a girl could go on a girl's trip and she could go cheat on you or fuck a bunch of dudes. Do you see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that worrying about that, right, and trying to stop that, right, is the thing that is that beta energy. It's the thing that is you being insecure. Because what you're doing is you're trying to hold on to something you can't hold on to. That's the thing that guys don't understand. See, the problem with a lot of guys in the game is that they're trying to find ways to control what can't be controlled. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because exactly, April said in the chat, she could do that at home too. So she doesn't need to go on a girl's trip to fuck another guy. She could go fuck another guy on her lunch break. Do you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. So
that's why I figured. Yeah.
So it don't even matter. So the fact is that if you're worried about it, it's not about the woman, because the fact that you're worried about it, you're still the guy worrying. So the issue is that you are worrying. So that means that you're the one suffering because you're worrying. So even if, for example, let's say you break up with that girl, that still doesn't fix the fact that you're the type of guy that worries. You understand what I'm saying? Right. That doesn't fix the fact that you're still scared to deal with women because you're like, oh man, you know, what if she hooks up with another guy? Okay, she hooks up with another guy. So what? You understand what I'm saying? What are you going to do about it? Like, there's nothing you can do about it. So you're going to be with this woman, and or this is what you could do: be with her. She's going to cheat on you. Leave her, go get another girl, be with her. She's going to cheat on you. Leave her, go with another girl who's going to cheat on you and leave her, and just keep doing it that way. So what I'm saying is that either way, you can't, there's no answer to help you stop that from happening. Do you see what I'm saying? And so what happens is that a lot of these guys, they're worried about shit that they can't control. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. So basically what you're saying is let her go on the Vegas girls trip. So if she goes on the trip, I mean, you're not going to know if she even cheated or not, most likely.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. You can't, but this is what I'm saying. See, it's even the link. You're saying let her go on this trip, right? Even saying that, right, within it, in the context of that, you're basically saying you can not let her go. So imagine that. You're telling your girl not to go to Vegas. There has to be a reason why you're telling her not to go. So now what's going to happen is she needs to understand why. And the only logical reason why is because you're scared she's going to cheat. If you're scared she's going to cheat, then that's showing insecurity and fear. So while you're showing insecurity and fear, you are simultaneously being unattractive. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the paradox. See, the funny part is that, and I said this before, the easiest way to keep a woman is to let her go. But guys do the opposite. They try to keep a woman and then the woman goes. You see what I'm saying? That's the part that guys don't get. But see, this is the thing. You have to be the type of guy who is good whether she stays or goes. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the key. And that's the part that's the block for a lot of dudes. You have to be the guy who's okay whether she stays or goes. Because if you're okay if she stays or goes, then you are not worried about her fucking going on a girls trip. Because you're only worried about her going on a girls trip is because you want her to stay. Do you see what I'm saying? Which means that you're going to be displaying those insecure characteristics that's going to eventually make her see you as weak, which is going to make her leave anyway. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. It's like you either act like a weak little bitch who's running behind her and telling her she can't do this and can't do that because you're scared of her going, or you could be a guy who has game, right? And understand that no matter what, you're good. You see what I'm saying? But most guys can't do that shit, unfortunately.
So say in the scenario, so what you're saying is, say your woman comes to you, she's like, oh, me and the girls are going to Vegas for my girl's bachelorette party. Mm-hmm. So the man with game just goes, oh yeah, that's what's up.
Right, and exactly. Have fun. Do you
have fun with that?
Do you? Because like I said earlier, I'll give you an example, right? I remember years ago I used to work in Harlem, right? And so I used to do video production and I used to teach kids video production, all this other stuff. So I remember once I told my boss, I said, hey, I might need to, I need a few days because I got to go out to California to do some stuff, right? And she said to me, hey, no problem. She said, as long as you finish this project by Friday, you good. Do what you want. You feel what I'm saying? So I finished the project by Friday, and I went and did what I had to do for a week in Cali. So I say that to say this. My boss said, as long as what needs to get done here is getting done here, I don't give a shit what you doing. So what happens is that for a lot of guys, they don't have a structure of what needs to happen in their relationship. Because if you did, you would only focus on that. Now, whatever the girl does outside of that is not, I'm not controlling any of that because I'm not her. I can't control her. She's her own person. So now if she does some shit, right? Let's say she cheats on you, right? And you find out, then you can just get rid of her. Do you see what I'm saying? But what is it going to benefit you to tell her, oh my God, don't go on the girls trip? Because as soon as you say that, you've already lost her. Do you see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is there is no way to tell her to not go on the trip and still keep your woman. Soon as you tell her not to go on the trip, you've already lost her, because there needs to be a reason why. And the reason why is always going to point to your insecurity, because there is no actual logical reason why that has nothing to do with insecurity or nothing to do with you being afraid to lose her. So as soon as you tell her not to go, you've already lost her. So you might as well listen. You might as well, if you're that type of nigga and your girl say, hey, I want to go on a girls trip, and you don't want her to go on a girls trip, just end the relationship. Because the thing is that you telling her not to go is not going to help anything. It's not going to do anything. It's going to make everything worse.
So I see what you're saying. So basically, the tighter your game is, you'll be so focused on yourself and what you're doing that even if the woman is cheating, you really wouldn't even know it anyway, because you'd be so focused on what you're doing. You would only kind of know it if then now she stops following the instructions that you gave her. She, like in your example, she quits doing the task before she went that way. But as long as she continues her task and continues on the same thing, the tighter your game, you would never even know anyway.
Right.
Not like somebody just blatantly came to you and was like, here's a video and picture her, you know, whatever.
Well, the thing is you wouldn't know it, but also even if you did know it, you wouldn't give a shit because you just get rid of her. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Once you find out, you get rid of her. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that there's a difference between ending the relationship once you find out versus you trying to prevent it from happening. Because if you're trying to prevent it from happening, you've already lost the situation. Like, just call it a day. As soon as the words come out of your mouth saying, I don't want you to go on the girls trip, you're finished. Just call it a day. You see what I'm saying? You're done. Because you've already ruined your relationship, because now you've taken yourself from the leader position. You've taken yourself from the man that she looks at as a strong masculine man. You have now turned into a weak bitch in that moment. So just pack it up. Matter of fact, you should actually help her find a new nigga, because you ain't gonna be her man anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, just call it a day. That's all I'll be trying to tell these niggas. But see, the problem is this. These dudes are so weak, they're trying to tell her to don't go because they want to keep her. That's the paradox. The fact that you're trying to keep her is what's going to make you lose her. But a man with game, right, is not trying to keep her, because whether she's there or not doesn't matter. See, for the beta male, it matters, which is why he's begging her not to go on the girls' trip, not to be on social media, not to go hang out with her girlfriends. That's why he's begging her, because he needs for her to be there. He needs her validation. And so what happens is that eventually, sooner than later, in a lot of cases, the girl's going to bounce. Or what's going to happen is she's going to disrespect him like crazy before she eventually bounces. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the thing.
Yeah.
What happens is this. What guys don't understand is that the woman that they're dating and dealing with is an individual. So what happens is she wants to go on that girls trip with her friends because she wants to hang out with her friends and have girl time, right? So what happens is these guys, they want to deal with women like women are robots. Like, oh, don't go on the girls trip, right? Now, if you had a legitimate reason for her to not to go on a girls trip that has to benefit her actual safety, then maybe that would make sense. Hey, don't go on that girls trip because there's a whole gang of maniacs over there chopping off women's heads. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I shouldn't go on that trip, and maybe my girlfriend shouldn't go either, because we don't want to get our heads chopped off. But if you're like, don't go on a girls trip, the question again is why? And then what can you say besides, oh, well, because the reason why is because you're scared she's gonna fuck somebody. And as soon as that conversation is there, you're finished. Yeah. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I see what you said. So the man that doesn't do that, say the man with game, so he always keeps his value in her eyes. So when she sees him as valuable, she's not gonna do anything to fuck that up. Matter of fact, she might be like, hey, look, I'm not gonna even go on the girls trip without him even saying anything. She might be like, hey, or this and this, because he kept the value. But the one that said something loses the value in her eyes. Now she's like, you know what? I could care less if I lose this motherfucker or not, which is going to make her go on the trip and fuck a dude anyway.
I mean, yeah, that could be it too. But also, again, remember, you don't want to, because what you said is interesting. You said, she may not want to go on the girls trip, right? You don't want her to not go. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because thinking
about her own free will.
No, but this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, within what you're saying, you're still trying to make her not go. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, you're saying, well, if I'm just chilling and don't give a shit, then maybe she won't even go. No, go. This is what I'm saying. That's the attitude that you want. You want her to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if you're doing something, so basically if I'm saying, well, I'm going to get my game tight, because if my game is tight, then she's going to see me as attractive, and then she may not even want to go on the girls trip. But see, that's a contradiction, because if your game was tight, right, you would never think about that, because you're not trying to not let her go. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you gotta separate from the idea of her not wanting to go. Because if you say that, you're still tied to the idea of her not going. And if you're still tied to the idea of her not going, that means that you're trying to get your game tight to keep her, which means your game ain't tight. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying, right? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that, see, this is the thing. Guys are looking for the answer. Unfortunately, they're looking for the answer of Lucario. What can you do to get your girl to not go? Soon as you ask that question, you're weak. Your game is not tight. Your game is tight when you say, I am good whether she goes or not. That's when you're actually there, because you're outside of the paradigm of worrying about what the fuck she's doing. That could potentially be a situation where she's fucking with another dude. You see what I'm saying? Because the thing is, if within anything in your mind, if that's a threat to you, you're still tied to trying to keep her there, to keep her with you. And that means your game is fucking weak. Because this is why, guys, this is why we always say, you see how it always turns back to the game is not about women? You see what I'm saying? True. Because what happens is that when you keep thinking about, man, well, if my game was tight, then maybe she wouldn't, because even I hear a lot of guys say that too, where they'll say, you know, well, Lucario, if your game wasn't tight, if your game was tight, then your girl wouldn't want to fuck with no other dudes and be, no, nigga, your game is not tight because you're worried about the bitch. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. As long as you keep worrying about the woman, your game is weak, period. And that's what guys don't understand, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to find ways. They're trying to find the cheat code. They're trying to find something in some form or fashion to control what the woman is doing. And the reason why they're so desperately trying to control what the woman is doing is because they feel safe if they can control what the woman is doing, so that they don't have to worry about the woman leaving, because they so desperately want the woman there, because they feel they need the woman there for validation. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get guys to understand, is that you have to get outside of that. Once you get outside of that, then you're actually having tight game. And this is the problem. Most guys, unfortunately, I saw a comment the other day. Dudes is like, look, Hardy, you don't understand, man. You know, other guys aren't, you know, non-monogamous. I'm not talking about being non-monogamous or monogamous or whatever. This has nothing to do with that. What it has to do is that as a man, if you are so tied to keeping your woman, right, you're always going to lose. Always. You see what I'm saying? Because what happens is that you're under the illusion that the woman is the thing that makes you win. The woman is not the thing that makes you win. Women will come in and out of your life. You see what I'm saying? What happens is when you come to the realization that you can't control women, and you come to the realization that you don't need to control women, that's when your game is tight. That's when you're that guy. You see what I'm saying? But until then, anything you're saying or doing, well, yo, it's about respect, bro. She can't be taking pictures with Chris Brown like that. It's about respect. Usher shouldn't be dancing with Alicia Keys like that. But bro, she's being disrespectful because she's going on girl trips. She should just stay in the house and look at me all day. If she has me, why does she want to hang out with her girlfriends, bro? That's disrespect. You see what I'm saying? But that's all fear-based talk. That's it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's kind of like you got the ones that may try to say fence the woman in, so to speak. They might build a physical fence, but then you got some that might not even notice that they're just putting that that electric collar on them,
right?
Where
exactly.
It still keeps them in bound, but they're like, well, my game is tight, but I still, you know, in a way they got that electric collar on them, so they don't not see the fence that they built around the woman, but you still are trying to control her and keep her in there,
right? Because this is the thing, it's either or, right? Either or situation should not reflect you as a man. This is the thing that guys don't understand. They're looking for the outcomes to reflect their masculinity, unfortunately. So this is why they're trying to find ways to control that dynamic, because they're attaching their masculinity to that shit. This is why guys are so concerned with choosing signals and shit. They want the okay from the woman. They want the confirmation. They want the woman to give them some sort of sign before they approach, because they want to feel safe. So a lot of these guys, they're trying to feel safe, because what happens is, unfortunately, they feel less than, so they're chasing women to feel complete. So if I chase the woman and I got the woman, now I feel complete, then I can't let her go, because if I let her go, I'm going to feel incomplete. So of course I don't want her going on girls trips, because if she fucks around and wants to be with another man, then that means that I'm incomplete. See, when a man has game, he's complete. He doesn't need the woman to complete him. You see what I'm saying? So the problem is that these guys, the reason why they're so scared to lose the woman is because they think that the woman completes them. And they've come to that conclusion because they don't feel whole within themselves without the woman. It's terrible.
That's deep, and then it would transfer over to other aspects of your life when you start doing that.
Right,
exactly. Now, if you're going to be controlling like that, you're going to be fencing in like that. Now you're going to start doing that in other areas, which then just makes you a weak man all the way around.
Exactly, because see, this is the thing. This is how let me just explain how simple relationships are. Right? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. I'm gonna give a few examples. You go to a restaurant. You order a burger and fries. You eat the burger and fries. It's over. You go to a movie. You sit in the movie theater. You watch the movie for 2 hours. You enjoy the movie. After the 2 hours, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like you fucking, buy a fucking shirt or some shit. You wear the shirt. The shirt starts getting wrinkly and it starts tearing up. Then you throw away the shirt. It's over. It's the same. All the things that I'm talking about in these examples is moments in time you enjoy, right? And then at some point it's over, right? The same thing happens in relationships with women. You get with a woman, you enjoy the time you're with the woman. Within that time, you do what you do, and then there's a part where it's over. The problem is that a lot of guys are trying to keep it going. They're trying to hold on. They don't want to get out the movie theater. They don't want to leave the restaurant. You understand what I'm saying? But what's funny is that they do this in all other aspects of life, but when it comes to the woman, they just can't do it. But the reason why is because they've attached their sense of well-being, they've attached their sense of identity to the woman, meaning I cannot be me without her. So if you told the motherfucker and you conditioned the motherfucker that he has to stay in a restaurant for 12 hours after he eats a burger, he would stay in that restaurant for 12 hours, damn near 24 hours. He probably fucking live in that motherfucker. Because to leave the restaurant or for the restaurant to tell him he has to go would kill him because his conditioning tells him he needs that. And that's what's happening with a lot of these guys. They're so concerned about what a woman is doing with her own body and her own mind, attaching it to them, and then making it to where they look at themselves fucked up based on what she's doing and attaching it to their masculinity. That's why they're like, oh, I got to control. I got to make sure she ain't doing this. And that's the issue with a lot of these motherfuckers. They are so attached to the woman, right? That they've made their identity be a part of dealing with the woman. That's why niggas say, oh, she's my better half. And, oh, I don't know what I would do without her. And I can't live without her and all that other fuck shit. It's crazy.
I see what you're saying. Because the man with game, like the restaurant and the burger, he knows he's going to get another burger and fries.
Right.
He knows he's going to see another movie.
Exactly.
So he's not sitting there worrying about, well, where's the next movie going to come from? Where's the burger and fry? I can't let these go. I got to hold on to these. He's like, oh, I'm good. I'm going to eat the burger and fry, enjoy it.
Right.
And if I need another one, I'll get another burger and fry.
Right. And the common denominator is him. Do you see what I'm saying? So the game is about him. This is what we try to tell you guys. But the problem is, again, these dudes, because they don't have confidence, because they don't believe in themselves, because they don't love themselves, because they don't know themselves, that's why they get so caught up in this shit. You ever notice how, I talked about this before, you ever notice how a dude, when he tries to insult you, he would say some shit like, he'd be like, Phoenix, that's why I fucked your bitch. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's supposed to hurt you. Because now, if I fucked your bitch, Phoenix, now you're supposed to feel bad about yourself and embarrassed because I fucked your girl. Because if you're tying your identity to your woman, that's supposed to be an insult. So if a nigga says, oh, I fucked your girl, you should be like, okay, cool. I hope you enjoyed yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what do you want me to respond to that? Like, okay, did you have fun? Did you have fun fucking my chick? Okay, cool. Whatever. Do you, brother? Fuck you mean? That's not an insult. Like, what are you talking about? But again, it's insulting to motherfuckers who attach themselves to the woman, who attach their sense of self to the chick, who attach their identity to women. And that's the problem with a lot of these losers out here, unfortunately. It's just terrible.
Yeah. I think I remember you mentioning once, like you said, like when you wanted to get back at dude, you would never get at the dude personally. You would just fuck his chick or something.
Right, exactly.
And it would
because
just destroy dude.
Right, because that's how weak they are. Imagine, you don't even have to fight a man. Just fuck his girl. That's how weak dudes are. You would do more damage fucking a guy's woman than punching him in the face. I swear to God. I'm telling you, if you fuck a man's girl, right, it will do more damage. Now, I'm not telling you how to do this because niggas is simps out here.
Because he did that. Yeah.
I'm just using this as an example to show you how weak these niggas are. It's terrible. Shit is terrible, man. It's crazy.
Well, all right, man. I appreciate the clarity on that there, man. Yeah. But I'm gonna jump back in. I'll let you later, man.
All right, bro. Appreciate the call, man. All right, guys. So let me see some more of these questions. Let me see what these questions are saying. It says, so if you had a girl and she says she wants to go to her male best friend's house at night, by saying you don't fuck with that, is that fear or a boundary? So that's a good question. So, because a lot of guys, they feel some type of way about, a chick having male friends and all that other goofy shit, right? Now, what you have to understand is that, again, if you are in a situation where you're worried about other guys, I don't care if it's an ex-boyfriend, I don't care if it's a male friend, I don't care about none of that shit, I don't care what it is, right? The fact that you're worried about that, right, is the issue. It's not about her having a male best friend and all that other stuff. It's the fact that you're worried about that right now. So you're saying, well, isn't that a boundary to tell her, hey, I don't want you to go over to your male's best friend's house and all that other shit, right? Again, you always have to ask yourself, what is the reason behind it? So you're saying, well, her male best friend's going to try to fuck her. Okay, cool. What is the rule in your relationship? The rule in your relationship, let's say if you're monogamous, is y'all only fuck each other. So her fucking her male best friend means that she's going to lose out on you, correct? Now, your girlfriend knows this. Your girlfriend knows this. So now, let's say she does fuck her male best friend. What are you going to do? Right? If you're a man who has game, all you're going to do is dump her. Right? That's it. See, the thing is this. The fact that you're worrying, right, is the issue. I remember, I forgot what movie it was, but one of the characters said, if you worry, you suffer twice. I love that quote. When you worry, you suffer twice. Right? Because what happens is that sometimes the thing you worry about happens. So you're worried about the thing, and then it happens and you're worried about the thing. Right? So don't worry about it, and don't even worry about it if it happens. If it happens, just do what needs to be done if it happens. You see what I'm saying? So again, you guys are looking for an answer that's going to make you keep the girl. And having game it gets you to understand there is no answer to keep her. The answer is to keep yourself, not keep her. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're trying to look for an answer. Look, Carl, but what if she has a male friend? What am I supposed to do? Shouldn't I tell her not to see her male friend? Shouldn't I do this? Should I do it? You're looking for an answer to keep her. You understand? No, she knows what the rules are. She knows what the situation is. She knows what needs to be done. She knows she shouldn't fuck that guy, right? She knows that if she fucks the guy, she's cheating. And she should know that if she cheats, she loses you. So if she's cheating, knowing she can lose you, she's telling you she doesn't mind losing you. And if she doesn't mind losing you, why would you be with a woman who doesn't mind losing you? Right? You should leave, right? Makes sense. Simple. See, you guys are looking for answers to try to keep women. And again, that's the reason why you guys are going to lose her. But the thing is that If you are worried about losing her, right? That's what's going to make you lose her. But if you had game, you wouldn't give a shit if you lost her. So you're not going to be looking for reasons to keep her. So you're not going to be looking for an answer. Well, look, Carl, I'm looking for the answer to keep her. That means you have weak game. If you had tight game, you're not concerned about keeping her, which means you're not looking for the answer to keep her. You understand? You already have the structure of what needs to happen in your relationship, and you already understand when you have to chop that situation off if something occurs. You see what I'm saying? It says, how you handle women you just met, hang up on you, and text you, start bragging on you? Nigga, stop. You gotta ignore that chick. Charge to the game. It's a wrap. But he let her go to Chris Brown concert and she let him grab her ass. How do you handle that situation? Okay, so again, what are the rules in your relationship? Why do you have the rules? What are the underlying reasons for the rules? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you'll ask these questions and it all depends on the rules of your relationship. You understand? Because this is the thing. Let's say, you go to that concert, right? And, they have those situations where, like, even, they have, like, I've seen, like, Janet Jackson concerts where she has a guy on the stage and he's on the chair and she winds up on him on the chair. Or you go to Usher concert and he's, like, dancing with the girl. You go to a Chris Brown concert, he's doing a lap dance to the chick and all this other stuff, right? So what happens is that, a lot of times the insecurity in your relationship causes you to bring up problems that aren't even a problem in the first place. So within the context of the actual situation, if your girl's on stage and Chris Brown is doing a dance with her and she jumps up and he grabs her and like this picture right here. Let me show you this picture. I still have it up on here. Let's say he does one of these right here, right? And let's say he's on stage with your girl doing that and you're like, oh my God, he grabbed my girl's ass. Oh my God. Right? Within the context of what's going on in the situation, you have to ask yourself, is that relevant to you making it an issue? Like I told this guy on Instagram, I said, because he was talking about the Chris Brown shit. I said, okay, cool. Check this out. If your girl was an actress and she had to do a love scene, are you going to dump your girl for doing a love scene in a movie? Or would the context matter in this particular situation? So in the context of your girl being at a Chris Brown concert and she's on stage dancing with Chris Brown, right? Wouldn't that make it different than if she was just randomly at a party flirting with some nigga all up on him? Context matters. You see what I'm saying? You said you mentioned Anthony Zamello before in some of your videos. Is there some things you disagree with him in the present that he taught? Not necessarily. This what's interesting is a lot of the stuff that he says. I mean, I'm sure if I looked at other stuff, maybe there's one thing here or there, but I'd say 99% of the shit that Anthony DeMello says, I agree with, which is interesting because when I started listening to him and following him, I was like, yo, this is the only nigga on earth who understands how I think. I was like, I said, this is the only motherfucker on earth so far that I've encountered that understands who I think. And this was years ago when I first, you know what I'm saying? As far as public figure speaking and all that other stuff. I was like, this nigga, he's spitting that. I was like, I thought I was the only motherfucker on earth who thought like this. You feel what I'm saying? And it was funny because he said one thing. He said when when you're woke, and when he says woke, he's not talking about woke like these internet niggas talk about woke. That's not woke. He says when you're not asleep, when you're awake, right? He said you ask yourself this question. He says, is it me that's crazy, or is it everyone else that's crazy? So essentially saying that you're in a whole nother world than most people, because most people are asleep. You understand what I'm saying? Most people are asleep. See, this is why I sound like the way I sound. This is why I don't sound like most of these niggas you hear on the internet, most of these motherfuckers in the manosphere and all that red pill shit. That's why I sound different, because I'm not asleep. You understand what I'm saying? I'm wide awake. I'm not asleep. See, when you're asleep, you worry about what the fucking chick is doing and you're trying to control women. When you're asleep, you're attached to what women are doing. You understand? When you're asleep, you're worried about what other people think. Right? So that's how that happens. Said, how do you detach yourself from women and not continue the movie? Well, this is the thing. You enjoy women on a non-needy, non-clingy basis. So you fully enjoy them. You embrace the situation. You have fun in the situation. You're enjoying every moment of the situation. But once the situation is over, it's over. You don't cling. You don't try to get women to do certain things to stay. You understand? You're fine with a woman staying or going. You understand? So she can be here for 5 minutes or 5 years. It don't matter. You see what I'm saying? But that's because you're not attached. Because when you're attached, you can't even enjoy yourself. A lot of guys in relationships right now miserable. Like super miserable. And they're super miserable because they're attached. And so because they're attached, they're always anxious. They have anxiety. And they have anxiety because they're constantly worrying about what their woman's doing. They're constantly worrying about the next man talking to their girl. They're constantly worrying about losing their chick. You see what I'm saying? Says, your mind will take the shape of what you frequently hold in thought, for the human spirit is colored by such impressions. Stop becoming your girlfriends. All right. It says, is it okay to start a casual conversation with a girl at school and then ask her out on social media, or could being friendly make her uninterested in me? Ask her out and talk to her in person. Don't talk to her on some friendly shit, then hit her up on the DM. No, just hit her up in person while you're talking to her, while you're having that conversation. You see what I'm saying? Says, back to Chris grabbing the girl's ass. If beforehand you put a rule in person saying, hey, go have fun, but if Chris grabs your ass, we done, then is that tight game or weak game? Well, this is the thing again. Ask yourself why. This is what you got. See, what you guys have to understand is you have to know the reason. You understand? What is the reason? So, Res Kills, I will ask you, what is the reason why you would say, don't let him grab your ass in a situation where the context is you're taking pictures or on stage with a celebrity in that situation. Exactly, Frankie Shot. The question is, what's the reason behind the boundary? That's what you guys have to understand. He said, do you have any other teachers similar to Anthony DeMello that you follow you might have already mentioned? Yeah, check out Alan Watts, Teal Swan, check out Wayne Dyer, check out Osho. There's a lot of these cats on there's another one, Muji, I think his name is, this black dude. You said, do you think it's possible some types of women draw that insecurity out of you? One chick where I never question, but another one, I'm wondering who else she's messing with. No, that's the thing, is because you put that woman on a pedestal in your mind. But they don't draw it out of you. You're just insecure. It's just that you put more value on this particular girl than the other girl. You see what I'm saying? But that's still insecurity, though. Still insecurity. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So Rez, you got to ask yourself, what is the reason? And see, what happens is this: a lot of people, unfortunately, don't actually question why they think how they think. But let me get this call real quick, and we're gonna wrap this up. Let's go to 470. What's popping? Who this?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Lucario? This is Taufik from Georgia, Atlanta.
What's up?
24 years old.
Yes, sir. Did you donate?
Yes, sir.
All right. Would you donate?
Cash App.
Cash App. All right. I appreciate it. So what's going on?
Yes, sir. So my question is, how does one command respect in terms of, and I have some background on that if you'd like to hear that.
Yeah, let me hear the story or whatever.
Okay, so I met a girl at a store. I told her to meet me. I asked her when she should, so either today or tomorrow back then. She said today. All right, so she was supposed to meet me at the bar at a certain time. She showed up 15 minutes late. And I was just something about that night. I was a bit upset. I said, hey, 15 minutes isn't really my thing. So I stood up and I said, hey, I got you a drink, though. We'll have to reschedule. And then I walked out. She walked out a little bit after me. And then I said, hey, come here for a second. And because I was a bit annoyed, I said, how do you think you can make it up to me? Something like that.
Right.
So I smile a lot. So that there, that's probably another reason, respect is sort of a hard thing for me at the moment, but when I told her that, I wasn't smiling and I was actually clenching my jaws, right? Straight face. And I want to know, what are ways that one commands respect? I know eye contact is one, the loudness of your voice, perhaps, not smiling. Any tips?
Well, those things aren't necessarily relevant, you know what I'm saying? But it's really just having a standard and standing on your shit, so that what happens is that the person realizes, like, so if you're dealing with that woman, she realizes, okay, well, if I want to deal with him, that I can't do these things. But the thing is this, is that also you're not gonna be able to see, and it's not necessarily about commanding respect. It's more so about, you will get respect when the woman recognizes, we were talking about dealing with these women, is she recognizes that this is how he is, and in order for me to deal with him, I have to get with this.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, though, is that the issue is that you're not going to be able to be respected because what you did, I understand, where you're like, well, listen, I don't really like this late stuff, so I'm about to go, and if you want to get together maybe another time, you got to be on time. That's fine to let her know that, right? The issue, though, is that you don't want to get angry or let that annoy you. Do you see what I'm saying? Because then what happens is that there's not going to be any respect there, because what's going to happen is that if she can see that you're visibly annoyed or angry or frustrated based on what she did, that means you're reacting to her. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're reacting to her, she's not necessarily going to respect you, because anytime a man is reacting emotionally to a woman, you understand what I'm saying? There's not going to be any respect there. You see what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Right. So you can state what you want to happen, right? But you just let her know what it is and be like, hey, listen, if you want to, make this happen again, just remember you got to be on time. And that's that.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. All right, cool. So, sort of just like what Mr. 1950 says, like you said that he has like 100 standards and principles he can list off at any given moment.
Right.
Right. This just sort of accumulating more standards for yourself.
Right. Right. But don't worry about the particulars. You say like, oh, I wasn't smiling and I was giving her the eye contact, like all of that. You ain't got to really worry about all that shit. It's really about the standard and the protocol of how you're going about things versus the particulars and all that other shit. Because then if you're worried about those things, what you're doing is that you're trying to do something to get the respect, meaning that you're like, man, well, maybe if I don't smile, she'll respect me more. Maybe if I, clench my teeth, then she'll treat me this way. So in essence, what you're doing is that you're trying to get respect from her by being something you think she would respect. Do you see what I'm saying? Which essentially, at the end of the day, is simping. You see what I mean? Because now you're doing it for the favor of trying to get her to treat you a certain way. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see. Right. All right, so I'll take that into consideration.
Yes, sir.
Because, I'll just take that into consideration.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, bro. Appreciate the call, man. All right, so let me kill these phone lines. I'm about to wrap this shit up. So, guys, make sure that you guys go to badboymembership.com. Go to badboymembership.com. You feel what I'm saying? That's on badboymembership.com. You guys get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating tutorials every month. That will step up your game. And also make sure you guys go to masculineidentitymembership.com.
Do it! Just do it!
Because on masculineidentitymembership.com, you are going to learn about your masculine identity, understand who you are, what you're about, so that you can navigate out here in this game. You feel me? And also, guys, make sure that you guys get your tickets to the Game Kings screening.
Click the link below and get your tickets to the Game Kings 2, The Definition of a Man documentary screening that's going to be held in Miami on October 26th, 2024. You'll be the first to watch the documentary, and then after the documentary, you'll be able to participate in a question and answer session with the Game Kings live. Space is limited, so click the link below and get your tickets now.
So April is putting up the links in the chat for the tickets, so you guys can, click on that. And also Renee is putting up the links for the tickets. And make sure that if you're watching a rebroadcast, you can get the link below to get your tickets. So make sure you guys get the tickets early, because when it sells out, that's it. I don't know what else to tell you. But yeah, man. But listen, guys, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And I will holler at y'all later. And remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. I'm out.
Shit's crazy cause I look at you different. You were saying I did shit that I didn't. Trying to keep it going, you kept resisting. So I kept it moving, I kept my distance. Kept it real, you said that I kept insisting. So listen. There's a thin line between pain and pleasure. They came the stressor, I came the stretcher. My aims to get it to drain all these lanes for cheddar. Can't name a fella whose game is better. My reign is terror, you reign never. You only see rain in rainy weather. Complain forever, you blame Stacey, Jane, and Heather. You claim you let her be free, that's insane. You tell her you're like me, we're not the same. You fed her, I say forget her. Even though I love everything about her, if she try me, then I will live without her. I will drop her within less than an hour, just cause the tone of her voice is getting louder. Damn. You the type of guy that will never doubt her. Get him. If she left you, you would cry in the shower. Get him. You would never leave her cause you're a coward. You have no power. These
These niggas out here is whacking and whack. They cracking they back, to smash is a fact. They having a chat while grabbing their sack. They laughing with brats, they stacking their stacks. While asking for cat, they have to relax. My heart's cold and it's blacker than black. Been that nigga since Pun and Joe was packing the Mac and back of the act. She only fucking with you after the fact. She talking about me when she gets up at night saying that she's having a snack. I could do what I do cause I'm me. I am him cause I remind me. Told her keep up when she's behind me. She'll find the truth when she finds me. But if shorty start acting crimey, bitchin' moaning and acting whiny, being disrespectful and try me, you're gone.